Welcome to the Med Spa Method. My name is Leslie Schweitzer, and I'm a doctorate-prepared nurse anesthetist and the owner of Real Aesthetics and Wellness. This show is your guide to navigating the med spa world with confidence. I'm going to talk about the treatments, the trends, and how to find a provider that you can trust. Because when it comes to your health, your face, and your results, there is a right way to do it. Hey, today on the Med Spa Method, I am here with our medical esthetician, Gretta, and we are going to have a girl talk episode where we talk all about a recent trip that Gretta went on and just enjoy some girl talk giggles about the shenanigans that happen when you're on a trip. And of course, I want to talk about the travel skincare that she brought with her. So say hello, Gretta.
Hi, guys.
So Gretta just went on a trip, and we've been hearing about this trip in the spa for like 6 months. Greta's a planner. So first, just tell us about this trip that you planned, and it sounds like you were kind of like a key leader in making the plans for the trip. So I want to hear that from you because I like to be the person that other people plan for, and I get to just show up. So go for it, Gretta.
I am definitely the planner in the friend group. I like to know what we're doing, have a rough idea. So the second that me and my girlfriends planned this trip, I kind of got to researching. We went to Orlando, Florida. Thankfully enough, we knew where we were going to stay right away from a family friend. So we stayed in the Animal Kingdom Lodge Resort, which is beautiful, by the way. And from there, we kind of I built the itinerary around how many days we were going to be there, the weather, what each girl likes to do. And we had a full list of plans to do the whole entire time. I don't think there was a second that we didn't have something to do.
And I remember you saying, like, when you were planning for it, you were like, well, we have to plan out every minute because otherwise we'll lounge around all morning. And then before you know it, it's like, well, what should we eat? And the day will slip away. And so I love that about you because I've totally done that on many vacations. I've just lounged around all morning and then we just like have a brunch or something. And before you know it, you're scrambling for dinner plans and seeing what we'll just deliver to you so you don't have to go find something.
Yeah.
So I love that. I do have a question though. I've not been to Orlando. So when you say Animal Kingdom, is that like what's close to Disney?
Yeah. So Disney has a couple different like resorts and spots. So there's Animal Kingdom, then there's Epcot, then there is like Universal Studios, and each of these parks have a resort to stay with it, but they're all in the like surrounding area. So even though we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, we didn't go to Animal Kingdom. We only went to Epcot to do the drinking around the pool. So
nice. Yeah, nice. So what did you do on the first day that you got there?
on the first day, our flight got delayed, of course. So we landed a little bit later than expected. But we all just went to the room. We got ready and we went to this super cute little dinner spot that a couple started out of their like old farmhouse that has been in their family forever. So they redid the farmhouse and the backyard is huge and beautiful, and they only serve appetizers, but they serve like these beautiful drinks to go with it as well. And you're just exposed to the outside, like southern nightlife. There's live music. And then we all went home and hung out by the pool and went to bed because it was a very long travel day.
Yeah. I always feel like when I travel, like you end up like super dehydrated because you can't carry water through the TSA check spots. And then it just feels ridiculous to pay $7 or $8 for a bottle of water in the airport. And then the flight attendants give you like an ounce. So did you have any tips or tricks to like help you with that? Because you're a little bit more of a seasoned traveler than I am. So
I definitely did fall into the scheme of buying the $10 water bottles at the airport. But I brought with me the element packets that we have here because those are little enough to be on your carry-on bag, but
sure.
they're not big enough to take up a bunch of space. I just threw them in my purse, had these little packets, and poured a couple in my waters when I felt like I needed a little something.
Yeah, I do the opposite. Like when I get through like the TSA security, I always feel like I've earned a cocktail because it's so much work. So I probably add to my dehydration by sitting down at the nearest bar and like treating myself to what, like relaxing myself after getting through the trauma of taking off my shoes, my belt, making sure that no one steals my laptop while I stick it through that silly line. So I like your method. That's smart. I should do something like that next time we travel.
I will say we did stop for a glass of wine.
You have
We
to.
got through TSA. You have to. It's crazy right now.
Yeah, you have to. I got to go through the TSA pre-check for a little while because I worked at the VA. And when you're a VA employee, you get like TSA pre-check. Like you're like background checked. I actually don't know how that process works. But I got to go through it and my husband didn't because he didn't have TSA pre-check. So I went through TSA pre-check with the kids. They let me. And then we just waited for him. And it was awesome.
Little
poor guy. Get through there.
Travel hack. You can reserve a TSA time slot.
Really?
Where you can pass it's not TSA pre-check. It's not the like TSA clear, that little line that you have to pay for. You don't have to, it's free. You get on whatever airline you're flying 24 hours before your flight and you select a time and you walk up to TSA agent and say, hey, I have this time slot. They lead you to like a secondary line and you go right through.
I will do that next time.
You have to.
Yep.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Yes.
You don't
I like that. Yeah. The reason that I like now I don't have TSA pre-check is because like there's all those things that you have to do. Like you have to like submit all this extra stuff. And I don't know why that feels so confusing. I just don't want to do it.
It is confusing. It's ridiculous.
So you get there, your first night, you have this beautiful appetizers and drinks, crash, and then what's your next day?
Next day, we got up early and picked our other girlfriend up from the airport and came back to the room and immediately started getting ready because we had about 12 hours of drinking ahead of us.
Planned.
Yes. It was my longtime best friend. We've been best friends for 12 years. It was her birthday. And for her birthday, she wanted to do drinking around the world. And that's exactly what we did. We put on our cute little outfits and drank as much water as we could prior.
Yeah, that's where you need the element packet.
I had like 6 on me, I think I drank, which honestly helped. All the other girls were like 6 hours in, we were hot, they were tired, and I was like, let's go guys, come on, I'm ready. But yeah, and then we had amazing food. Epcot is definitely not kid friendly. They have about 4 rides in total, but the food and the drinks and the atmosphere and the cutesy little shops, if you have endless amounts of money, is really, really fun.
Would be fun. That does sound fun.
It is.
So then at the end of the day, you were pretty drunk or you were pretty settled with all your element?
I actually was so proud of myself. There was like a moment in the day where I was like, oh, I need to take a break. But by the end of the day, I honestly, I think I sweat literally every single drop of alcohol out because I was perfectly fine. The other girls, on the other hand, it was a rough walk back to the shuttle bus. But yeah.
Yeah, well, preparation is key.
It is.
Yeah, and drinking enough water for sure. So all that going around, drinking around the world, were you inside restaurants or were you out in the sun?
Out in the sun.
Yeah,
all day long. Maybe 2 hours max inside of a restaurant where we had like a full meal. But other than that, straight sun.
So straight sun, I've got to know, how were you about your SPF?
I was really good, actually. I reapplied on my face a couple times. My body could have gotten a little more attention. I was a little crispy on my shoulders, but everywhere else I did not burn. I just got a beautiful tan. And I would like to say and set the record straight, you can wear sunscreen and still get tan. I think that people think that if you wear sunscreen, you can't get a tan. That's not true.
Yeah. Well, looking at you right now, like you did not come home burned, and I remember saying to you like, wow, like your skin looks beautiful. You definitely got a tan. So I like that you're setting the record straight and saying you can still get a tan. And, that might not be as important to other people from other areas, but here in Wisconsin, like we really only get like, I feel like it feels like 6 weeks. Maybe it's a little longer. Like, I feel like it's only 6 weeks where we can truly be outside comfortably in a swimsuit or whatever to, like, get a real tan. So I understand why people are like, "I don't wanna cake on the sunscreen because 'cause I'm not gonna get a tan," but you definitely can. You
Absolutely.
definitely can. You just need to wear appropriate sunscreen and
Mhm.
apply it appropriately, reapply it appropriately, and each product's gonna be a little bit different than that.
Mhm.
Different with those how you reapply it. So what did you bring with you for sunscreen?
Well, there's this brand that I've been wanting to try. It's only carried in Ulta. It's called Live Tinted, and it's a full sunscreen makeup line.
Mm,
So all of their makeup has some sort of SPF in it. For my face, I used that and the Vacation brand sunscreen just so I could double up because I did lay out in the sun a couple of days, but I had sunscreen on. And then for my body, it was just regular uh, drugstore
yeah, I
body
can't
sunscreen.
body sunscreen is really tough. I've wanted to find a quality one that we can carry in the spa
Hmm.
for so long, but, like, who makes that product?
It's hard.
Who makes that quality body sunscreen? Like,
Hmm.
what I'm using right now for myself and my kids, like, is that Hustle Beauty.
Oh, sure.
It's a
Yeah.
stick and, it's a powder that's, like, preloaded in it,
Hmm.
and I have one of those in, like, every vehicle and every purse, and every time we go anywhere, I'm just, like, flicking that on and brushing it on everyone. Kids love it 'cause they giggle about
Yeah.
it or whatever, but it is only water resistant for a short
Mhm.
amount of time. It's, like, 90 minutes. So if we're out, at a pool or something for the whole day, I do end up using something else. Like,
Yeah.
I'll brush that on to start the day, and then they're wet, and I can't brush it on them, so I end up with, like, a, drugstore, whatever, spritzer of
Mhm.
something to just keep refreshing them so they don't get burned. One of my kids is so incredibly pale, blame it on my husband, but he burns so easy, so,
Yeah.
like, I like that option, but I don't think it's, like, our holy grail, body sunscreen, so
Mhm.
if anybody knows of an awesome body sunscreen that we should carry in the spa, then
Let us know.
let us know, we need to
Mhm.
know. But that brand you're talking about kinda sounds like Color Science, like a Ulta version of Color Science, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely close. Like the formula feels close. I've used both before. I will say that the Live Tinted is more full coverage than Color
Okay,
Science, I feel.
okay.
I felt like I had like a full face of makeup on, and maybe that's because it has so much SPF.
Yeah,
It
maybe.
made it like a little thicker.
Or maybe they want it to
Or
be like that style coverage,
yeah.
I've worn Color Science, and I feel like it's too much coverage for me. Like, I
Okay.
don't feel dewy enough.
That's what I liked about this is that I
Dewy?
felt I looked like just so glossy and dewy and
Yeah,
fresh all day long.
yeah. There was a time when everybody wanted to look matte.
I know.
I didn't really love that vibe.
I've
I always
never
felt
been
dry.
that girly. Yeah,
Me
same.
neither. I wanna look like a glazed donut.
Me too.
Just
Every way you put
shiny.
it. Mhm.
I wanna be reflective. But, for me, I felt like Color Science wasn't dewy
I agree.
enough. But Color Science does make those little sticks,
Mhm.
which is theirs are tinted. The Hustle Beauty ones are translucent, and the tinted one, I did used to carry that around for a while just for myself
Mhm.
that I could dust on top of my makeup, but again, then it takes away my dewiness.
Mhm.
But it is nice to have, like, you don't even need a mirror. You can just throw that stuff on and just
Yeah.
refresh your SPF at any time. So I like that, but now I'm using Hustle Beauty instead.
Love to try.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The other product that I brought with that I really liked is I feel like sometimes when you're out in the sun all day and you're wearing a lot of sunscreen, you can get a little stinky.
Of course.
You just kind of smell.
Yeah.
And I found this it again at Ulta. I use their hair care stuff sometimes. It's Saltaire. Have you
Oh,
heard of
I
it?
have, yeah.
So Saltaire just dropped a sparkly bronze body oil with SPF in it.
I'm gonna have to try that.
It was amazing. I mean, I shimmered all day in the sun. I was still like I
Mhm.
usually if you put oil on your body and you're in the sun, you're gonna fry.
Yeah.
But I had sunscreen on, so
Yeah. So you just look glossy.
I just
I
looked
just
glossy and
bought
beautiful.
their, body wash.
Oh, so good.
I need to have a bougie body wash.
Hmm.
I don't wanna, like, no knocks on people who like Dove, but I don't want Dove or
No.
whatever crap in my shower. I want it to be a bougie shower experience,
Hmm.
and Salt Air makes one that's, like, I don't know, it's, like, warm, sandalwood or
Yes.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I have that in my shower right now, and they made I just found it. It's like a clear roll-on deodorant,
Yeah. Yes.
and I just
So
bought that
good.
too. Yeah, I just bought that too because what I was using, prior to that was like a spray of like it was like a spritz.
Okay.
It was just like a probiotic,
Mm-hmm.
and it smelled like vanilla. It smelled fine, but it was running out, and it was like, well, I'm gonna try this little roller thing. I like the roller thing. It's cool.
I like it
So
too.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to try that shimmery body oil too.
Mhm.
That sounds good.
It is.
So, but please tell me you brought some raw products with you.
Oh my gosh, so many. I of course had to bring my gentle cleanser. I just feel like it's so good. It's not stripping of the skin. I feel so hydrated after I use it. I also brought the Boosted Milky Toner just because I love how hydrated I look after I use it. I feel like it's a really great makeup base for the days that I did do like full glam. And then, of course, my tried and true peptide dew.
Yeah, love that.
It is my favorite product of all time that we have.
You know what I've been doing with it? So, raw skincare is Real Aesthetics and Wellness. It's something that we have developed with a separate company, and we have been able to develop it all, name it all, and then teach it to people in the way that skincare should be used. But Peptide Dew is a spritzer that is a spritzable moisturizer with peptides in it for anti-aging. And what I like to do with it is, do you ever use like a makeup sponge, like
Mhm.
those little eggs? I like to like 4 sprays on my egg with the peptide dew and then apply my makeup. And I feel like it makes it look even dewier,
Yeah,
like even glossier face. Love that.
abs
Yeah, you can use it as a setting spray or like a throughout your day, way to use. That's really how we market it, is like you should use this throughout the day, pop it in your car or your purse or whatever. Or for men, my husband will use it. He does not want to be moist, like he doesn't want to like put thick products on his face, but he can put that on and let it soak in. And I've seen a change in his skin, because when his skin is dehydrated, or anyone's skin's dehydrated, you can see those wrinkles. And I was just looking at his forehead the other day, and it's like, dude, you hardly have any wrinkles. There's no Botox in your forehead. And it's got to be from the peptide dew, because that's all he does. He washes his face, peptide dew. That's it. That's all I can get him to do. And I told him he's got to do something, because I'm going to stay 25 forever. And he's 45. So, like, come on. Come along with me.
Mhm.
We're not getting any older.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to look weird when he's 65 and I'm still 25. So you could just anti-age with me.
Yeah, my girlfriends definitely feel the same. I have 2 of my girlfriends don't live in Wisconsin, and they were like, "When you get back, can you ship us some of this stuff? Like, where did you get it?" And I was like, "It is my med spa skincare line." And it was just, it's fun to tell people that. It's fun. It's even more fun when people love it. And
Yeah. It's like, it's special. It's like closer to my heart than when people say like, I love the Revision SPF.
Right.
Like, sure, I love it too, but I didn't have a hand in it. I didn't
Mhm.
name it. I didn't, I didn't get to decide what size we carry and stuff like that. So, our skincare definitely feels special to me that way.
I
For
agree.
sure. So, all right. So we've got through the first couple days of your
Mhm.
trip, and then, what did you end up doing on the third day?
That day we just kind of chilled by the pool. I think that we were all just, whether some girls were hungover or not, I think we were all just very, very tired. We took a vlog of guessing how many steps at the end of the day we were going to have. And I think we started at the start of Epcot with 2,000 some odd steps. And by the end, we had like 22.
What kind of shoes were you wearing?
My Hokas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal.
I had no pain in my feet with my Hokas. I love them. I will say 3 of the girls wore like cutesy, they're like called the Adidas Gazelles. They're
Yes.
like, they're so cute. They're
So cute.
adorable, but they're
Yes.
flat.
Yes.
And by like hour 3, they were like, my feet are killing me.
Yeah. I would have been that girl.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you know what? But you guys were drinking all day.
Mhm.
And I've always said, like, if you're wearing a pair of heels that hurt, you need another glass of wine.
That's so true.
That'll make it go away.
Just keep drinking. You won't even
Think about those. You don't even remember you had toes.
So yeah.
So
So the next day we just got some good food. Animal Kingdom has like 7 restaurants in it, beautiful restaurants too.
Are there actually animals?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was like the best part of our room.
Mm-hmm.
Our balcony looked over the safari. So we had giraffes and zebras and rhinos and gazelles and these huge birds. They were actually so scary. Like when the lights would go off at night, all you could see were these big birds in the distance in their eyes. And we were like, we could have shut the curtains.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of animals all over. It was
That's
beautiful.
incredible. We have been telling our kids like we can go on a trip like that once everybody is fully potty trained.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not traveling with a bunch of diapers, and my boys still wear a diaper at night, and they're not 100% off the diaper. So I'm not traveling with y'all until you get your, get that figured out there.
Figure it out.
And then we will go to Disney and do all the things. So, life goals for a 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But that sounds incredible.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Even like when we go to the zoo, I just feel like I could just look at the lions, for sure the lions,
Mhm.
and the elephants and the giraffes. They're just so huge.
They are.
Incredible.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Animal Kingdom Lodge and Resort has like that cool little safari outlook depending on what room you book you can see. But like the Animal Kingdom Park has like crazy exotic huge animal exhibits in there. So it's just like a mega zoo, but there's also rides. And I would definitely say that that one's probably like the most little kid friendly, just
Mhm.
because there's so much to do. And they have like little splash pads in there. So if your kid's like overheating, just
just
throw
get
them
in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in there, cool off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So a low key day. And then what was the next day? It was day 4.
Well, it was low key until about 5 p.m. when we all got ready for dinner. We Our friend group doesn't do like birthday gifts or anything. We always just go to like a really nice, beautiful dinner and pay for the birthday person's meal and drinks. This year, obviously, we went to Florida. So we didn't do like a huge dinner, but we went to this we didn't even know it was a speakeasy until we showed up. I just saw pictures of it online and I was like, this is like probably one of the most beautiful restaurants I've ever seen. It was called Roca Hula. And you walk in, you tell them the password, and you sit on these chairs and spin into the wall. Like on a rotation plate. It was crazy. It was so cool. But we had dinner. It was like Asian Thai fusion. It was amazing. Super good. Again, drinks 10 out of 10. Finished that, went home and got ready and went to a 5-story club where each floor was different music.
Oh, wow.
So it was chill in the beginning, but then after that, yeah, wasn't so chill.
Yeah.
No. But it was really fun. It was beautiful. It's all open concept. So like you look up and you just see all these like huge buildings in downtown Orlando looking over you.
Yeah.
And they had fans and you weren't like
It sounds
on top of everybody.
Yeah.
So it was perfect.
Yeah. That sounds really fun.
It was really
So that was probably a late night. And
Very
then,
late night.
yeah. And then the next day you have to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah, that was not on the itinerary. We thought we were all going to be pretty well mannered. We had too much fun. And so we all slept all day. We ordered in some food. We laid outside, like on our own little patio and just hung
That's
out.
still lovely. And
It was
relaxing. And
yeah,
like you said, the patio's looking over all those animals.
didn't rain once. Didn't rain one single time, which is crazy for Florida because usually it rains like 3 times a day for like 10 minutes each time.
Yeah.
But it didn't rain at all.
None.
Unless it rained while we were sleeping. I have no idea.
Maybe
It like 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So then was that the last day and you came home?
No, we had 2 more days. We went shopping in Disney Springs. Disney Springs is a nice little park to be in. It's completely free. It's just a bunch of huge shopping outlets. So like if you didn't have time to shop in any of the parks that you were at, they have like a huge, gigantic all things Disney store that you can go into. They have like a beautiful Coach outlet and like all the Instagram-y like bikini stores they have there too. They have beautiful restaurants and It's huge. It's ginormous. You can do like boat tours around Disney Springs. So we did that for a couple of hours, and then we were pretty pooped. So we got a nice little dinner, and again went back to the room and just hung out, laid by the pool for a little bit, went to the pool bar. But the next day was the day that we had to keep it calm, because the next day I surprised all my girlfriends with a private boat tour.
Awesome.
It was beautiful.
Hmm.
We started the day by going to Cocoa Beach. It was a perfect day. It was a little chilly, but the sun was still out. You weren't overly hot. We packed like a beautiful lunch to have together. They have little shops on Cocoa Beach. It's this huge pier overlooking the ocean. And then around 5, we all got up and got ready, and we were gonna go home, what they thought. And I drove us to this dock where we had a captain named Captain John, and we rented this little catamaran. It fits about 8 people. A catamaran is basically a topless yacht. So it doesn't have a enclosure, but it's big enough where if you wanted to, you could live on it. And we rented that for about 3 hours. Captain John showed us the places where like the dolphins nest, and we saw some manatee and some like rare, almost going extinct, beautiful birds. And we just hung out, had some drinks, ate some food, and laid on a boat and watched the sunset.
That's
And
awesome.
that was our last day.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah, that does sound perfect. Was the water really calm?
The water was pretty calm. For as windy as it was, we were in this little like inlet lagoon bay area that opens up into the ocean. We were on the ocean for a second, but because we had done so much drinking the days prior, we were kind of like, can we just stay in this lagoon where all the dolphins are? And we kind of just rested in there. The boat didn't move too
That's
much
what I
from
would
that.
do too. Yeah, that's what I would want to do. One time we went to Mexico and they had like a little lagoon like that. The rest of the resort honestly was not wonderful. Like the food at the resort was not great. I lost weight because I walked so much and didn't eat much because I didn't like the food. But it had the most beautiful lagoon and the most beautiful like walking trails through all these Mayan ruins. But I've said to my husband over and over, like this year, like I want to go back to that resort, not because the food was great or the drinks were great or whatever, but because the outdoor was great. Like I want to take the kids on all of those walks. I want to swim in that little lagoon. It was so little, like so calm in there. You could just snorkel and look at tropical fish for hours. And the waves weren't big. They would never take you away. And that's what I want to do. Like, I just want to calm like that. So that sounds just beautiful.
Yeah. There's a similar resort like that in Florida. You rent like a little house. It's an Airbnb. It's a man-made lagoon, but there's like beautiful fish in there. You can bring they have paddle boards out, the little boat, like bike things that you ride in the water. We took some of our like little cousins there, and it was just because your kids are still little, tiny.
Yeah, little, and they need that. All right, so you had your boat tour, more SPF, more element.
More SPF, more element, a whole lot of that. I think that's probably what saved me the whole trip. Otherwise, I would have been having a rough time on the plane ride back. It was a long travel day.
So then how was travel on the way home?
Travel on the way home was not very good. Because I think we were having a rough time. Our flight kept getting delayed. It kept getting pushed back. The gates would move. And the Orlando airport is such a mess right now with the like TSA drama that's happening. And it's huge. So every time a gate got changed, we had to get on these skylight, like really fast trains to the other gate. And I think that we were all just praying for our lives on there. We weren't necessarily hungover, but our bodies were just so depleted that like back and forth was just too much for everybody. We were at the airport at 7 a.m. and we didn't get home until like 7:38. Yeah.
It's a long day.
It was a very long day.
I always worry when they change my gate a bunch of times that, like, my luggage or whatever is gonna be missing too.
That was my fear. But I had an air tag in my
in your bag.
Yes.
There you go.
It's like 3 of them. We each
Yeah.
bought like a couple air tags and shoved them in there. But
Yeah.
I think the worst part was my flight from Orlando to Chicago. They kept saying was fully booked, was fully booked. I keep looking at my ticket. There's not a seat on my ticket yet. I'm like, okay, it's gonna update. It's gonna update because we kept changing gates so often. And I went up to like one of the airline ladies that sits at the front desk, and I was like, I don't have a seat on my ticket. Like, what group am I? What seat am I in? And she was like, we don't have a seat for you.
Oh no.
And I was like, what do you mean you don't have a seat for me? Like, I bought these tickets in December. And she was like, well, just hang tight. I'll call you up to the gate when you're ready, or when I'm ready. I was like, okay, I'm waiting. All of my girlfriends are now on the plane. I'm the last one. There's nobody around this gate. I'm like, what do I do? So I went back up to her again. I was like, I hate to be annoying, but am I getting on this plane? And she was like, I don't have a seat for you. And I was like, yeah, so that's not an option. I need to be on this plane. And she was like, well, what if I give you a $500 voucher and you take the next one? I said, when's the next plane? 7:30 p.m. I was like, no way. I need to get on this flight. I need to get back with my friends. Like, we cannot be split up. So she went on the plane. She ended up giving somebody like a $1,200 voucher and a free stay in a hotel. And they gave up their seat. And I got on the plane.
Well, that's their fault. They overbooked the flight.
I agree. Why is it my fault that
Yeah.
you don't have room?
Mm-hmm. And who did they pick to give
Yeah,
this
but
bad news to?
How did
How did you get the short straw?
right? I don't know. Who
I don't
knows?
know.
But it was stressful. And I was just happy once I was home.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. And I'm glad that we could sit down and we could have this talk about your trip because, like I said, we've been hearing about this trip that Greta was so excited for months. And so I'm so glad that you had it and that you got there safe, had a good time. You wore a lot of sunscreen and you made it back without being burned to a crisp.
Yeah.
And got on that flight. So we'll have to do another Girl Talk episode soon.
I have another trip in July.
There we go. So we can talk then, I guess.
Yep.
Late July, you can hear about Greta's next trip. Thanks for joining us.